Right guys, so working with, hundreds of different guys, helping them lose body fat, general weight, improve their health, training, all that sort of stuff. I've noticed quite a common trend of their, expectation of weight loss. And obviously some people don't lose weight as quick as others, and there can be a big crossover. One thing I have noticed, which has been quite common over this period, is that the rate of loss in comparison to the rate of time taken to get to that weight. So just as an example, say you've got someone who starts at 160 pounds, comes up to maybe 180 over like 5 to 6 months. This person, if they then started to go in the other direction and potentially go into a fat loss phase, they will notice a faster decline in weight. Sometimes it can take maybe a week, 2 weeks to start seeing this, or sometimes literally a couple of days. Now, what I've noticed is as time goes on and weight goes up, so say if we go more towards maybe 190 pounds, and this may be taking 12 months, this decline in weight takes a bit longer. So here you might see literally like a week, and then you might see a bit of a drop. Whereas at this 12-month period of gaining weight over this period, you'll start to see maybe weight level out a little bit, potentially go up, and then you'll start to see a decline. Now, obviously, as time goes on and weight increases, maybe if we go up to 200 pounds over 18 months, or even further, if we go up to maybe, which is usually where clients come to me, between 180 to 220, and this can be maybe 2 years plus. This is when things start to get more difficult. And when I say difficult, it doesn't mean that it's harder to actually lose weight. It just means that your body isn't used to coming back down. So it's gone in this direction for such a long period of time that naturally we then expect this straight drop, okay? As soon as we start dieting, week 1, week 2, we expect to see some weight loss. Now, sometimes you do, but more often than not, what tends to happen is you might spend 4 to 6 weeks not losing weight. And this is only if you're in a decent calorie intake, okay? If you do stuff drastically, which a lot of people often do, it can lead to you potentially losing weight within the first 4 to 6 weeks, but then also gaining it again because the calories that you're on are too low. So what I recommend doing, if you're one of these people, once you get past the 12 or 18 month, 2 years plus of gaining weight over a period, and not really losing weight, you might go through a few phases where you lose weight, but average over the year your weight is increased. Rather than going straight into like a lower calorie intake or a diet phase, what I tend to do is put people on more of an average calorie intake, a healthy calorie intake, to get their body working, get them used to consuming a decent amount of food and calories, and then just increasing their activity through, walking, exercise, resistance workouts, maybe 2 to 3 workouts a week, sometimes more than that. And what tends to happen is, someone who would potentially do this at this weight might go into 1800 calorie diet, okay? And they might start to see a bit of weight loss and then stall and then come down and then stall, and then they can't keep it up. They start to have issues because they're not eating enough food, they're getting hungry, they might be doing too much exercise, so on and so forth, and they end up losing motivation, going in the other direction. So what I do is I put people on, an average of 2,000 minimum to potentially 2,300 calories. With this, not only are you going to get used to eating a decent amount of food, but you're going to be in a place where you're probably not going to want to snack so much, you're not going to want to overeat. You can fit quite a decent amount of calories into this as well, and it's quite a decent amount of food into this, and it's quite a healthy place to be. This plus exercise, daily exercise, maybe 10 to 15k steps, 2 workouts plus. So you can maybe go 2 to 4, I'd say. I wouldn't really go any more than that, but making sure you're being active daily. What you'll start to see is probably your weight level out. You might level out for a little bit. Sometimes can be 4, 6 weeks, but then all of a sudden, you know, the momentum sort of picks up and the weight starts to come down. And what happens is this weight comes down, it will stall a little bit, calm down, stall a little bit, calm down. And I've managed to get people down from 220 to 200, right the way down to 180, while still consuming the same amount of calories. And the reason for that is they've not been doing anything drastic. They've been creating a calorie deficit throughout this period of time, and they've got their body working in the right way. So when you go up, you've got to think your body's going in that direction. It's used to gaining weight. Your body's more will accept gaining weight easier than what it will losing weight, okay? Because of general homeostasis, you know, our body's stored energy. We're still in that sort of frame of mind where, well, it's not necessarily our mind, but our body's still in that sort of way that we're trying to survive, okay? Survival kicks in, and us losing weight can be a struggle. Just because you're not losing weight doesn't mean you're not losing body fat. Your body has loads of other things going on. You know, you can be holding water, you can become more inflamed. Don't know if that's spelt right. You could be building muscle. All of these factors can increase body weight, but it doesn't mean that you're not burning body fat. And very often what happens is, because our body's going through this process, through this change, it starts to fight it. As long as you stay consistent over this period, you're eating enough calories to keep you ticking over, you'll be fine. What often happens is people go a lot lower than this, and their activity is a lot more than this. They're training every day. It creates more stress, more, you know, resistance from the body, and it can end up leading to people, like I say, going off plan because they're not keen on continuing on because they're not seeing progress. So, like I say, if you've gone through this period where you've gained a lot of weight and you're struggling to lose weight, it's probably not the fact that you can't lose weight or that you're doing anything wrong. It's just you're not giving your body enough time to adjust and adapt. And it is very, very common for you to stall, to hold weight for a little while. But if you just stick at it and kind of keep consistent, you will start to see your body changing. Now, I've done this process with hundreds of guys. You know, I've coached them through 4 weeks of not changing weight, and then all of a sudden the momentum picks up. I've had other guys that have gone at this calorie and they're just drop. But one thing I will say is that every single person that sticks at it and stays consistent eventually starts to come back down. But they do it whilst feeling good and feeling more energized and not struggling with food and not struggling with, you know, workouts and family life and work life. So take that into consideration. If you are someone who is, you know, struggling to drop this weight after gaining weight so quickly, or even over a long period of time, it's usually over a long period of time that this happens. If you've been gaining weight 6+ months, your body's not going to then go straight in the other direction. But naturally, that's what we expect. We expect, you know, oh, right, okay, dieting now, let's drop down. It doesn't work that way. You know, you will come up, you'll stall, come back down, stall, might go up a little bit, come down, and then you'll start to see patterns and start to see these sort of things happening. But one thing I'll say is that after working with so many different people and taking them through this process, that eating 1800 calories and stuff like that is not something you need to be doing. I've helped guys lose 50 pounds while still eating 2200 calories, and there's more than one, you know, several 10, 15 guys now, I think, that have gone through this process that have dropped 30 plus. And like I say, I've even got guys dropping 50 plus now, whilst maintaining a higher amount of calories, between 2000, 2300, no low calorie days, nothing crazy with cardio. All they've done is trusted in the process and stay consistent. Eating more food will help you without a doubt, and it can be something that's difficult to get your head around, but trust me, it works. So if you are someone who's gone through this process of gaining weight and then you try to just cut everything out, and you know, you will end up rebounding and going in the wrong direction. Some people manage to stick to it, but very, very common to see people struggle so much at the start that they give up. If you're eating enough food and you just stay consistent, the way I see it is if you can eat 2300 calories and drop weight or maintain weight, you're in a good place. If you're eating 1800 calories and you maintain weight, you're pretty much putting yourself in a bad place because you've got nowhere to go. This guy on 2300 or 2000 calories, even still, if he can get back down to 180, when we drop the calories down to 1800 on certain days, he's going to notice huge improvements in his physique. He's going to see more body fat come off, rather than being at 1800 calories down at this point and then you've got nowhere else to move. So it's very important to make sure that you're consuming enough calories, you're keeping active, and you're just staying consistent. This will help you create more of a lifestyle. So if you've got any questions, or you're someone who's been through this process yourself, you know, and you're struggling to kind of find any sort of route that suits you, drop me a message. I'm more than happy to give people advice and stuff, but do remember that it's not as easy as just, now we're in a calorie deficit, we should be losing weight straight away. There's all these other variables. There's more than this as well, you know. These are just the basic ones that people will understand. But there's many variables that come into play, and it's just about staying consistent. But I often see people going through this cycle of gaining weight, trying to lose weight, not losing weight, and then giving up, and then gaining more weight. And that's how you end up going from 160 to 220, sometimes further. So like I say, any questions or anything, just drop me a message. I hope this has helped some people, because I know that explaining it to clients has helped them a lot, and that's why I'm doing this video.